I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Chicago have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change. With your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for mayor for the city of Chicago.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hi, good evening. This is Maureen Forte of In the Know with Mo Talk Radio. I can be heard every Friday evening on www.blogtalkradio. I am here in Humboldt Park with the support for Dr. Willie Wilson. I am one of his executive board members, and we are here in the Humboldt Park community. This campaign for Dr. Wilson is a campaign for all people. We're talking about all people, regardless of race or gender, but for all human beings. It's time for a change, and Dr. Willie Wilson will be that change. This is Maureen Forte of In the Know with Mo. Thank you.
But there's a long tradition of these types of voices of conscience. So I just immersed myself in the world of St. Sabina and spent time with Father Mike and his peacekeepers and the community there and tried to learn as much as I could.
We love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
My participation is only because of Mr. Spike Lee, our leader, our director, and he reached out to me and blessed me with the opportunity to be in this film and said that his mission was to save lives in the south side of Chicago.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, letting me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
We are more than that. We are more than that. We're greater than that. And I feel like in places like this, or Chicago, or whatever you want to call it, the hood, whatever you want to call it, like, it's too much attention dwelled on the negative.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Hi, we're from Empire, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
So how long have you been standing here?
Not too long, like an hour. So we're moving in fast. This is a good sign.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott Winslow, WINSLOW, spokesman for Willie Wilson for Mayor 2019. Thank you for coming. This historic mayoral race for Chicago for 2019 gets stranger and stranger as we go. Today, Dr. Wilson attempted to withdraw his petition objection for Neal Sales Griffen, and the hearing officer decided to continue the objection despite Dr. Wilson's withdrawal. Dr. Wilson will make remarks on this historic campaign and historic event. Dr. Wilson.
I'll make a few remarks and then I'll turn it over to State Senator Rick Henson for a minute, and then to Brother Neal Griffen. I must say that I'm very disappointed that we withdrew our petition, and now they want to continue it as it was to knock him off the petition. We want him to be on and continue on with the process on the ballot. You know, people do have rights, and this is 2019. This is not back in the 1800s before Abraham Lincoln. But there are some people saying they want to take us back into before 1863, I guess, whatever it was. And I'm just disturbed about that. I'm disappointed about that, to be honest with you. It is wrong. We want him to be on. He should be on. And that's bottom line to it. Also, next week as well, we're going to bring in some young men and ladies running for alderman. We're going to make a slate next week and to endorse some young people to get rid of the old people out of office who have misused the community. Starting next week. And so I am totally disappointed today, I must say that. In fact, I'm frustrated, you know. This is 2019, and as I always say this, something like this takes me back in Jim Crow days. It's enough to make a Negro turn black, all right? And a white man turn black, all right? That's what it does to me, and I'm very disappointed in this here. I just wanted to let my frustration be known. This is 2018. We do have rights and freedom. And this back here is to take you back to Jim Crow days. Very disappointing. We want this young man to be on the ballot. And we're going to fight for him to be on the ballot. And we got to take it to the highest court in the land. We're going to do that. Be prepared to face it. Dr. Henson.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. I have never seen something this outrageous before in my life. We withdrew our objection to Neal Sales Griffen. We withdrew. Our attorney presented the proper paperwork. That means there's not a citizen that is against this young man being on the ballot of the objectors. We withdrew. The hearing officer on his own gonna say he's judge, jury, and executioner and deny us our right to withdraw. So he's violating our civil rights and he's violating this young man's civil rights. People need to understand why we're withdrawing against Neal Griffen. One, we battled in that board elections 5 weeks. The nicest people I ever met before in my life. I didn't know him before that. Him, his mom. I talked to Dr. Wilson about bringing in new millennials into office. That's why he mentioned that we're going to be announcing some endorsements for some young people that are running for alderman next week. And we just decided that let this young millennial's voice be heard as well. You're hearing all the other young millennials, let this young millennial. Because if I'm going to support a young millennial for the future of our city, our people, it would be this type of person. We were there 5 weeks. Not once was there a loud voice or cankerous word against each other. Nobody had threatened to beat me up or call the police on me or shoot me or whatever. They were just good people. So that's why we decided, I talked to Dr. Wilson after we withdrew against Dorothy Brown, the clerk, who we also liked, that if we could do it for her, why not this young man? And Dr. Wilson totally agreed. This hearing officer, we appealed to the board. You just can't let this go down. The day we get to where boards of elections on their own can put people on the ballot or off the ballot is a sad day in the city of Chicago and the United States of America. The hearing officer is on some bullshit. And I told him directly to his face, we're not going to accept it. We withdrew. His name should be on the ballot. Brother Griffen.
Thank you. Hey everyone, I've got no complaints. I am proud to be here. I'm glad we made it this far. I think we still have a shot. So I decided to run for mayor of Chicago because I got tired of complaining about things. My family's moved away. My friends have moved away. People are struggling. People are dying. People are trying to just survive in Chicago. And I just want to be a part of change. I want to take action. So if the people of Chicago are willing to give me a shot, thank you, because I'll be good for it.
State your name, please.
My name's Neal Sales Griffen. It's NEALSALES -GRIFFIN. Still getting my media training in, right? But look, I'm honestly grateful for all the people on the street that wanted to give me a shot, that wanted us to be on the ballot, that wanted us to participate in democracy in Chicago. You all deserve choices, and I just want to be one of them. So that was always my pitch. That was what I said to people on the corner, on the blocks, in the cold, in the hood. I said, hey, I want you to get a receipt when you pay your taxes. I think all your friends and family and loved ones deserve affordable housing. I think neighborhood schools need to be more accessible. I think you deserve safer streets through violence prevention. That's it. So if you agree with that and you think that democracy in Chicago should be one that's accessible to all, then let's make this happen. So look, it's not over yet. We still got a shot at this. There's a lot of really goofy stuff happening here, but I don't want to talk down, and I want to be completely respectful, because respect is what's gotten us this far. So look, I love all of you. I love my city. I love everybody that's willing to be a part of this process and this change, and let's use this moment as an opportunity to change a broken system. That's all I got for now.
See why I like him, right? Any questions real quick?
You understand the hearing officer's argument is that you guys presented all this evidence,
and
you guys knocked him below,
and we withdrew.
But he's saying he can't ignore the evidence now that he has.
The law, if we withdrew the evidence.
I can help with that.
We withdrew everything.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I get it. Those are the rules. If those are the rules, then they should change.
It's not the
because
rules.
if you want to look at the signatures and you go through it, you realize we have enough that are valid. So even though I respect their process and their challenge, they did what they had to do. They followed the procedure. They rationally tried to challenge candidates on the ballot. That's what we allow. So it's less about vilifying Willie. It's not about vilifying Ricky. It's about the process and the system being broken. We have valid signature. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. I agree that 12,500 signatures is too many for Chicago. I agree that a lot of these things need to change, but even with the rules as they are, go through my signatures, validate it. If you realize that we don't got enough, so be it. But we do, because I've gone through them myself, and I got a majority of those signatures myself.
And the objectors are no longer objecting to that. We're in agreement with Neal Sales Griffen that he has more than 12,500 valid signatures to be on the ballot. The objector, the citizen, is the person who has the right to challenge another citizen, not any board of election authority. And I'll die and go to heaven, because I ain't going to hell. I got to worry about that. Before I let any board of election in the United States of America, state of Illinois, county of Cook, city of Chicago, be the determining factor on who can get on the ballot and who cannot. If a citizen does not object, the Board of Elections has no damn right to object. We withdrew the objection, period. Right. We agree he has 12,500 or more to be on the ballot. Case closed. But clearly somebody done called him.
So look, the ask to everyone, though, is like, look, don't be mad. Take action. So look, I'm not mad. I'm going to take action. I'm going to see this all the way through, all the way to the end. I'm going to do my best, because you all deserve that, and I owe it to all of you, because we love our city, right? So let's
Any other questions?
Dr. Wilson, you've spoken for the past week or so about the need to change the actual system of getting on the ballot. Is this a case for the need for that type of change?
I think if we come down from 12,500, perhaps in a neighborhood with 5,000 or something like that, it'd be more reasonable to do. I think we should take a look at that, and when I get in as be your next mayor of the city of Chicago, we're going to work and get that down to 5,000 or whatever. We have to take a look at that. That is too many, 12,500.
Any other questions?
Why not withdraw your challenge earlier and kind of save yourself?
We withdrew the challenge on a timely fashion. The hearing was set for today. If the hearing was yesterday, we would have withdrew it yesterday. Let me finish. Sure. We looked at some of the Rule 20s, the appeals that Neal looked at, that they filed, and came into agreement that they did have enough. Until they filed their appeal, we could not respond to the appeal. We did not do any objections to the appeal because we had made our determination that he probably had enough. And why cost the taxpayers any more money? Why waste any more time? Let's go ahead, let the young man on the ballot and let the voters decide. It was as simple as that. We had to wait until the process took care of itself. I didn't want to withdraw too early, and then people would say, I don't know what I'm doing. So I withdrew in a timely manner. We were all here. No determination had been made, and the hearing officer on his own denied us our rights and Neal Sales Griffen his rights as well. Thank you all for coming.
Amen.
Dr. Wilson, thank you.
Adam.
Hi, my name is Neal Sales Griffen, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
Hi, my name is Heather Schooler, owner of the company Help Me Finish, and newly developed business billionaire breakthrough system. I want to talk today about my friend Zelda Robinson, who has created this mindful breakthrough system, which is absolutely phenomenal. And you want to know what I learned from it? I learned that I can stop the negative patterns in my life through one simple word: stop. And I think about that all the time. Every time I see a red light, I remember to stop. Every time I see a stop sign, I remember to stop. So even when I'm having a bad day and I can see a stop sign, it'll remind me of what Zelda's taught me. So if you guys haven't taken her program, you need to sign up for her program, because we all need to stop the negative voices in our head, and she's got the tools to help you do it. I'm Heather Schooler, owner of Help Me Finish, and I hope you guys sign up. And when you sign up, have a fantastic day every day, because that's what Zelda's going to teach you to do.
Go, go.
for mayor of Chicago because I think you deserve a receipt when you pay your taxes. Right now, we're not talking about people's money enough. And that's the biggest problem in Chicago is how money gets spent, where it gets spent. I think it should go to affordable housing, neighborhood schools, safer streets through violence prevention, and you getting a receipt when you pay your taxes. My family encouraged me to run, not because they asked me to, they didn't. They're just proud of me. But the problem is I got a huge family, folks that grew up all over the city of Chicago, and more than half of them have moved away because the city isn't working for them. So I want to flip that. I want to change that because I got cousins, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, like best friends, people, students. I'm a teacher, in both CPS and I'm a professor at Northwestern, and through all these different institutions and all this stuff going on in Chicago, it's broken. And I just had enough of that, and I'm not a complainer, so I step up and do things, and I solve problems when I see them. So that's what this is about. Sure. Yeah, so I'm a technologist, I am an engineer, I'm an entrepreneur. I taught myself coding and software development. I also have a degree in education and social policy. I'm a professor now at the engineering school at Northwestern University. I also teach coding and software development at the University of Chicago. I also have been teaching coding at Diet High School for the Arts, and I run a nonprofit helping high schoolers and kids who grew up just like me get their start in software development and coding, getting six-figure jobs. So, yeah, the nonprofit's called Code Now. CodeNow.org is the website, and we help teenagers get their start in software development in the same way that I got when I was an adult. Every time I tell somebody how old I am, they ask on the street. When I was getting signatures and everything, they go, "How old are you?" And I go, 31. And they go, "That is awesome. That's awesome." And I think people are excited for a lot of young folks with new ideas, with the good energy, fresh perspectives to be in office, to be public servants, to be making the change. So, yeah, I'm here, and I got the energy and the stamina to get through the whole thing. So let's go. I don't really have any association with Dr. Willie Wilson in that we're both mayoral candidates. So I've also, I'm from Chicago, and I've grown up in the area, and I've known about Dr. Wilson's work. So yeah, there's a connection there, obviously, and we love our city and we want to make it better. So that's the true connection, but that's not just me and Dr. Wilson, that's all of you. That's probably everybody who's watching right now. We all want things to get better, so that's the real connection. I think a majority of people are undecided right now, rightfully so, because not all the candidates are on the ballot yet. I'm one of the final ones. You should make me a choice too, right? So once you get to know me, then I think you should decide, but I respect people who've already decided. My number one thing to do when in office is to give you a receipt when you pay your taxes. It's not about me being mayor. It's not about this policy or that. It's about your money and you knowing how it's being allocated and spent and who decides on that, because you should have greater say and control over that. Right now you don't. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Higher Learning Network. Higher Learning Network. Hi.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Chicago is a big city, 234 square miles. We have 50 aldermen to watch over our neighborhood, but only one police superintendent. As mayor, I will add 3 more superintendents and form separate districts for them to be responsible for and bringing top management to the police force closer to our citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of Mindfulness on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Julie Myrista. I'm with the American Heart Association, and we have been up to our ears in sweetened beverage tax, so I so much appreciated the 5-minute meditation today that allowed me to get back to my center, take a few deep breaths, and really focus on what's important.
Shalom and good God morning. And thank you for joining me today on blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. It's your Monday morning mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Mindfulness stress release coach. I'm just here to make your day better.
Hey, this is Bill Walsh with the Power Team, Success TV Network. I am so honored that I have an amazing speaker, a gifted author that literally is taking the world by storm with her message. Zelda Robinson, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Gosh,
Thank
we're
you
so
much for
honored to
having me.
have you on the show. So maybe you could share with some of the promoters around the country and individuals who are thinking about booking you to speak, just a bit of your background would be great.
Well, I worked 20 years in radio. I retired from radio, but that radio career turned into motivational speaking.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, I got into television. But there was always something in the back of my mind. You've got a message. You need to go back and share that. So I started back, and this is the place to be with the International Power Team so that I can get my message across.
And so when you do speak at a lot of events, right, what are a few of your main speaking topics that you like to share with audiences?
Well, the main topics I like to share are for entrepreneurs and for business owners who have a daily struggle of thoughts coming into their head about what they can and cannot do. I have a mindfulness training program, a system that will help you get to where you need to be.
And I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs face that.
Oh.
I'm sure a lot of small business go through that challenge. And of course, if you're listening today and you're looking for a great speaker of the book, she owns this space, she lives in it every day, and she's helping a lot of individuals have that big breakthrough. So what would you say when you do and you go speak at these events, what would you say is the one big takeaway the audience walks away with? If there was like an aha moment that they would have that they'd say, oh my gosh, I learned so much from it. This is one of the big things that I learned.
Well, one of the greatest gifts that I have is mindfulness, and that's learning how the brain functions so that you don't beat up on yourself, all those negative thoughts that you have. You learn how the brain functions and how to not cover up, but replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And there's a whole process. It's a system.
That's pretty awesome. I know you travel around, you're willing to speak globally, whether it's local, national, regional, it doesn't matter, you're there. I know you're excited about getting that message out there. What is the best way for promoters watching this video today, or someone's watching the video, that they could get some more information about you?
Just look at the website at the bottom of the screen. That's how you can contact me.
That's awesome. And all you got to do, once again, if you're looking for a great speaker, she's definitely the one. You'll love her at your event. And I can tell you that I'm excited to see you change even more lives.
Thank you so
Congratulations. Thanks for being on the Power Team, Success TV Network.
Good morning. I have to tell you that I'm so excited to be here. This has been a week where I have been under a lot of stress just with my to-do list so long and my schedule is so full. And the meditation this morning was just wonderful. I could feel the Spirit of God all through this facility. And Sister Zelda, you are just a gift to this community. I want to thank you for this meditation this morning. I feel like I can just walk out of here and take on the rest of this week. And I thank God for you. I thank God for this organization and all the work you're doing for all of us out here working on behalf of our community. God bless you.